So, you're thinking about a trip to Sri Lanka. Amazing choice. But there's this one question that trips everyone up. When is the best time to go? We're going to dive right into that because, trust me, the answer is so much cooler than you think.
Right? Here's the big mystery. You'll have one friend tell you, oh, you have to go in December, the weather's perfect. And then another will say, no way, July is the best time. So how can they both be right? How can this one little island have glorious sunshine on one side while the other side is getting drenched by a monsoon? That's the puzzle we are going to solve right now.
Okay, first things first, Sri Lanka is, a total tropical paradise. It's warm all year long. We're talking average temperatures hovering around a beautiful 28 to 30 degrees Celsius, or 82 to 86 Fahrenheit. So if the temperature is basically constant and lovely everywhere, what in the world is causing this massive split in the weather?
Well, the first clue is that we're actually looking in the wrong place. The answer isn't some fleeting weather pattern that changes day to day. Nope, it's something much bigger. Something literally carved into the very heart of the island.
And there it is. That's the aha moment. The key to understanding Sri Lanka's crazy dual personality isn't meteorology, it's geography. It all comes down to one single, massive, unmoving feature that changes everything. So, meet the hero of our story, the Central Highlands. You can just think of this as a giant mountain wall running right down the middle of the island. Now, when those big monsoon winds come blowing in from the sea, they just slam right into these mountains. All that rain gets dumped on one side, leaving the other side completely protected, dry and sunny. This wall is the reason for the split. It's as simple as that.
Okay, so we've got the wall, but, a wall needs something to block, right? Well, that brings us to part 2 of the secret, the wind. See, Sri Lanka gets hit by 2 completely different monsoons, blowing from opposite directions at different times of the year. And this is what creates this incredible effect we're calling the Great Monsoon Switch. And this is where it gets really cool. Just look at how perfectly opposite everything is. From about May to September, the Yala monsoon comes from the southwest. It soaks the south and west coasts, the main tourist spots. But at that exact same time, the East Coast is beautiful and dry. Then it flips. From October to January, the Maha monsoon comes from the northeast. It rains on the north and east, leaving the south and west totally sunny for their peak season. It's a perfect switcheroo. So what this all means is you can follow this one simple but really powerful rule. We're calling it the principle of inverse travel suitability. It just means that whenever one coast is wet, the other one is dry. There is always a sunny beach waiting for you in Sri Lanka, no matter the month. You just have to know which direction to go. All right, so we've cracked the code. We've got our principle of inverse travel suitability. Now let's get practical. Let's talk about how you can use this insider knowledge to plan your absolute perfect trip, no matter when you want to go. It really just boils down to this simple timeline. If you're planning a trip between November and April, that classic winter sun getaway, you go south and west. That's when places like Gala, Marissa, and Bentota are just postcard perfect. But if you're looking at a summer holiday, say between May and September, you just pivot and head east. That's when places like Arugam Bay and Trincomalee are the stars of the show. And we can break it down even further based on what you love to do. Are you a winter sun seeker? Then December through March on the south and west coast is your jam. A surfer looking for world-class waves? It's gotta be the East Coast from May to September. And if you're a wildlife fanatic, well, specific months become absolutely crucial, like August for one of the most incredible elephant spectacles on Earth. Let's just lock in 3 can't-miss, time-sensitive experiences. First, whale watching. If you go to Marissa between November and April, the season is so reliable that operators claim a whopping 98% chance of seeing blue whales. Second, the gathering. You have to aim for August in Minaria National Park to see hundreds of elephants come together. It's unreal. And finally, surfing. The choice is yours: gentle waves for learning in the south during winter, or epic barrels for pros in the east during summer. But wait, there's more. Planning your trip around the seasons isn't just about dodging rain. It's a seriously smart move for your wallet, and it's your ticket to some truly unique cultural experiences. Let's get into it. So take a look at this. This chart basically shows you when everyone wants to go to the most popular region, the south and west coasts. See that huge bar from December to March? That's peak season, and prices are sky high. But now, look over at May through September. That's the so-called low season, and you can see prices take a nosedive. How much of a nosedive are we talking?
Well, you could potentially save 30 to 40% on your hotels. I mean, that is huge. Just by zigging when everyone else zags, by visiting the South Coast during its wet season, you can stay at incredible places for a fraction of the peak season cost.
And what do you get for being so clever? Well, it's not nonstop rain. Not even close. Usually, it's just a short, heavy shower in the afternoon that leaves behind this unbelievably lush, vibrant, emerald green landscape. It's a completely different kind of beauty, so atmospheric, so moody, and way, way less crowded.
And your timing can also unlock some of Sri Lanka's most incredible cultural moments. I mean, can you imagine being there in mid-April for the massive nationwide New Year celebration? Or in May for Vesak Poya, the Festival of Lights, when the whole country is lit up with lanterns? But the absolute biggest one is the Kandy Esala Perahera in July or August. It is one of the most stunning cultural parades in all of Asia.
Okay, but here's a super important tip. If you want to see that Kandy Perahera with all the incredible elephants, dancers, and drummers, you can't just rock up and expect to find a spot. This event is massive. You absolutely have to book your hotels and your viewing spots months and months in advance. Seriously, plan ahead for that one.
So, we've come full circle. We started by asking when to visit Sri Lanka, and we've discovered that the answer is pretty much always. There's always a good time to go, so the real question isn't when to visit. The real question is, which Sri Lanka are you going to discover first? The sun-drenched classic beaches of the south or the wild, adventurous coast of the east? The choice is yours.